Leto. This guy. You gotta love it because it's almost like he's, when it comes to talking about all this, he's wishing it into existence. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. All right, let's talk about Leto. All right, let's talk about Leto in this article. There's a Variety article. Leto appears in the Variety's awards circuit podcast, and he's got a new film coming out, which actually looks really good, called The Little Things, where he looks pretty deranged, and they tried to make him not so pretty. It's hard to do that. When it comes to Jared Leto, it's hard to make him not so pretty, but yeah, I think they've done a pretty good job. I think they've done a pretty dang good job. But when he talks about when he was approached about, of course, everything that's happening with the Joker, Snyder Cut, and all that stuff, and Zack Snyder, of course, he's going to remain coy, which is always the word that's used. Coy. He's being coy when he was asked about this. But then what's great about it is the fact that he expressed some, just good words. He just put some good words out there for Zack Snyder, which is great. It's absolutely fantastic. Pretty much anybody who works with the guy, it seems like they always have just the greatest things to say about him. There's never a bad thing, and we know that he's not a combative dude, and he's always about working. He's always about working with the actors. Go to the Joe Manganiello thing. He calls up Joe Manganiello and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to bring it back. We're going to bring Deathstroke into the nightmare scene. Is there anything you want to add to it?" And Joe was like, "Well, I imagine him having this fucking mohawk." And Zack Snyder was just like, "Okay, I like that. Let's do that. Go ahead and shave your fucking head and have this blonde, crazy mohawk." And it's just stuff like that. That's what's awesome. But obviously, when it came to this interview and when it came to Leto talking, one of the things that he also talked about too is he talked about the Ayer cut, and he's hoping that David Ayer gets to see his vision realized, which is good. And because in that vision, there's more Leto. That's the thing. There is more Leto when it comes to the Ayer cut, which of course we all want to see, and we know that there's a lot of footage that was taken out that was very Jared Leto heavy. Even with the the added, it wasn't really an ultimate edition, but it was more of hey, we added this scene where you have Harley chasing him down on a bike, and they have this whole conversation out in the street. I thought that was the best scene, the best Leto scene. Don't kill me, I'll be your friend. It's just the way that he was doing it. But of course, there was more to that because we saw the set photos, we saw the set videos where he just gives her a fucking backhand, which is part of the Joker and Harley mythos. It's part of their fucking relationship. He's abusive. They're both abusive. It's not like he doesn't get it too. But so naturally you want to see all that, and you could see why. Warner Brothers are you kidding me? We're gonna have this man hit a woman like this in 2020? But it's why not? Just fucking push the envelope. Please do that. So the fact that he talked about the Ayer cut was great, and he was totally wanting to see it. And then he even said David Ayer, should get another crack at doing Suicide Squad. But this is what he had to say about Snyder right here. He said, "I may or may not have shot something with Zack, but I love him." I just love the fact that he just I may or may not have. And it's we know you have. Literally, there are people that have seen what you look like in Zack Snyder's Justice League Nightmare timeline. It's and I'm so dying to see it. But I think a lot of people would probably agree, you want to save it for actually watching the movie. I don't know if it's going to get released. There's a chance it might, from things that I've heard, there's a chance we actually there might just be an actual full-on release. Who knows? Maybe that's not going to happen. Maybe Snyder will stop that, but he has shown certain people, and I'm sadly, I wasn't one of them, but it's okay. It's okay. I could wait. It's only 3 months away? My God, it's going to be an eternity. But yeah, so I just love the fact that he was just I may or may not have shot something with Zack. But then he goes, but he says like, but I love him. He is just a maverick and an incredible filmmaker. We get along great. We have great, well, I'm totally reading this wrong. We get along great, have a great chemistry, and I look forward to working with him again in the future. We have lots up our sleeves, Zack and I. Can he just like write a song for 30 Seconds to Mars called Zack and I? I mean, that sounds like a hit right there, Jared. Just saying. No, but yeah, so that's interesting. So he's talking about that they have some lots up their sleeves. And does this necessarily mean that it's 100% Joker and Snyderverse related? No. They might have talked about other projects because, guys, I mean, even though that, yes, Zack is working hard on Zack Snyder's Justice League, but he also has this zombie verse over here, and I think he's got something else cooking up, possibly in the science fiction category, and maybe they were talking about that. They could have been talking about that, where it's like, okay, well, if I do something else original that maybe I've been working on, and then, of course, he's got the last photograph, which was renamed something else, can't remember it off the top of my head, but he's got other projects that are in the future, and that could very well be what they talked about. But, of course, you better believe that they also talked about, the killing of Robin, Joker killing Robin. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I mean, yeah, why wouldn't Jared Leto want to approach that and tackle that part of the mythos of the Joker? Of course, he would absolutely want to. And then I'm going to bring this up again. I brought it up live, but when on the Deck the Hall stream, when we were talking to Zack, Swenson brought up, doing spinoffs and doing other things. And this was, of course, Zack's response to it.
I don't think anything's going to happen right away, but Jim and I talked quite a bit, and we talked a lot about maybe doing a book or a comic book down the road to kind of finish this. But we haven't locked anything in. But if it's a thing that would be interesting to the fandom, I mean, they can always ask Jim about it. But I absolutely would love to do a comic book. I said to him, I would like to do, we were just kicking it around, just sort of being, dorks. And I said, it'd be cool. I'd love to do, because say you're in the post-apocalyptic, world. Yeah. And Darkseid is, the world has fallen, and it's the ragtag team that's left alive to try and put it back. That inside of that story, we would also do the backstory of Joker, killing Robin. That would be the thing that, because the Joker is somehow involved in the, in the stealing of the mother box and using it to create the treadmill. That was, because in my mind it was always Cyborg was going to do the math and figure out this is what we got to do to go back in time to warn Bruce correctly, And so but I always thought that there was the conflict. A lot of the conflict that was happening there was Bruce reliving the events that the death of Robin and sort of what went into that. And I was like, that'd be a fun comic book. Even just the death of Robin, in that world, just a nice little one-off. Yeah,
I mean, oof. Yeah, but he's talking about a comic book, so that's what's interesting about that. But it does make you wonder too. It's like, okay, he's talking about what happens in this nightmare timeline where Joker steals a mother box, gets it to Cyborg, and Cyborg is like, okay, I know how to do this. Then we got the cosmic treadmill. I got this. We're going to send you back in time, Barry. We could do this. Are we going to see that in this? Or was that meant to be in a future movie? And you better believe that they talked about, Jared and Zack probably talked about what possibly could happen in the future. And what would be cool about that, what would be great about that, is once the marketing kicks in next month, big time. I mean, are we going to have Jared Leto just utilizing his fan base, his marketing, his way of doing things on Instagram and everything to try to push this, so then he could do more. Because he's even said that it's hard to say no to that character. When they asked about the Joker, like playing him again, he's like, yeah, it's hard to say no to playing that character. He wants to play that character again. He's going to be the first one to play him in multiple movies. That's what's also awesome about this. And I just really, really digging everything that Leto is saying. And then I'm just kind of wondering, like, okay, can he use some of his oomph to like really push this thing? Because I'm telling you, that gets butts in the seats. That gets butts in the seats, you know, mainly female butts in the seats. If you know that there's a Jared Leto scene in there, like in Zack Snyder's Justice League, guess what? That's going to help. That's going to help. You know, people are going to be like, that's why I'm like hoping, like, okay, don't release the image, the Nightmare Joker publicly. Please don't do that. Make it a surprise. That would actually help the movie, because people would actually, you know, get a subscription to HBO Max to go to see what he looks like, or they'll go pay, you know, whatever the hell, if their movie theaters are open or whatever the hell, they will. So, God damn it. Do not release. I mean, yeah, this time we're not saying release. I'm saying not release something. Obviously, we wanted to release the Snyder Cut, but I'm saying do not release the Joker image, because I think that would be an excellent marketing ploy, like, you know, grab, where it would get people hyped, where they would want to be like, okay, I got to like tune in this thing just to fucking, or click on, you know, put it on my TV or go see it just to see what Jared Leto looks like. You know, tease it, maybe. Tease it, that's fine. But I just hope they don't actually just full on just show the whole thing. Like, if he wants to show me personally, that's fine. Yeah. And then I'll hype it up more than it already is. But I just was like, do not release it publicly, please. Warner Media, AT&T, don't do that. Let's keep it a surprise. I'm telling you, that's something. Tease it. You can even have like a laugh. I'm actually kind of wondering, like, the next trailer for Zack Snyder Justice League, will he tease? Will there be a laugh? You know, he teased with the Hallelujah trailer. He showed the Joker card fly right by, and you know, there you go, right there. I mean, he totally teased it. So, anyways, guys, that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. And so we'll see what happens. And but I just like what he had to say about everything and what he said about Snyder and stuff like that. So let me know your thoughts about it down below. What do you think about all this? Hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm doing this stuff. And follow me on the Sock Meds down below, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And hit the join button if you want to be part of the Film Junkie membership. And you get some exclusivo stuff right there. And then, you know, or you could do the Patreon thing, help out the pirate ship and get some exclusivo stuff there. And then, of course, engage, you know, depending on what tier you do, you can send a video question in. So please do all that. And then, of course, merchandise down below, all that stuff, the shirts, the hoodies, all that, everything down below. All right, guys, love you. Talk to you later.